Mike's Daily Podcast.
FF episode 1609, 1609. Mike Matthews broadcasting from Café Anyway, located somewhere in Podcastro Valley, Ton. Today, we have a very special guest. Irene Pena will be stopping by and telling us about what she's doing in her creative, interesting world. We'll also hear a song from her that she wrote and performed recently with a friend of hers. And now, the name of the show.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
And we're going to have a bunch of people stopping by during the part of the show where I sing my song, and they're all going to jump in at one point.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
So I'll start singing this song and see who walks in. Oh, look who it is. Hello, Michael Matthews. It's Madame Rutabaga. It's good to be here today. Cafe Anyway. Ooh. Look who else walked in.
Hello there, Mike. This is Valentino, the banking attendant.
And this is Bison Bentley. Do you know that?
Mike's Daily Podcast.
That was a beautiful song with all the characters stopping by. It's one big, beautiful love's
Mike's
Earth Day
Daily
Love Fest
Podcast.
You might even say polyamorous.
Yeah!
Which we will say a little bit later on. But I think I'm supposed to mention what the podcast picture is.
And here's today's podcast picture.
Irene sent me a picture, and yeah, she's beautiful in this picture. It looked too yearbook-y. Sorry, Irene. So I'm posting this picture of this beautiful area in the North Bay of... Oh, and Basil and I went there. This was about 5 years ago. Point Molate Beach near Richmond. It's actually right next to the Richmond-San Rafael Bridge. And you have to make a quick right turn before you go through the toll booth. And it's this whole bizarre area north. Point San Pablo is actually what it's really known, but it's in the Richmond area. And I don't think anybody knows about this. Point Molate Beach Park, in fact, I think was created just a little bit before I visited it. I just happened upon it. It's north of Miller Knox Park, which I posted a picture of recently in the podcast pictures. All those podcast pictures you can see at mikesdailypodcast.com. Now, if you drive along this road called Stenmark Drive, and this is all part, I think this is at one point was some Navy base. There's so much Navy base and Marine bases in the Bay Area. And if you go along that drive and follow it all the way to the end, you end up in this weird, what's it called? Point San Pablo Harbor, this marina. And it is impossible to get there. In fact, I wouldn't even drive this drive. It's on this really narrow asphalt drive. And I thought I was going to go off the cliff at any moment, so I just turned around and went back. It was crazy. So that's all there, and you can see a little bit of that at mikesdailypodcast.com. Now, let's chat with Irene.
Into an interview.
Where are you going to move the phone?
I'm just going to move the phone closer to me.
That sounds a little better.
How I think I can do this. I've got... There. Wait. Hold. Stand by. I know it's... There. Wait, is that better?
That sounds good.
Okay.
That sounds way better.
Okay. If you say so, you're the man.
I am the man? Does that mean...
You're the man.
Okay. What? All right. I am the man.
How are you?
I'm good, Irene Pena. What's going on in your neck of the woods?
Well, there's some rain. There's a little bit of sun, a little bit of rain, a little bit of this.
How do you stay positive? You're such a positive force in nature. How do you stay such in such rainy weather in Seattle, Washington, and that general vicinity?
I don't have a choice, do I?
But you don't have a choice? Okay.
No.
I guess that's one way to keep yourself positive. That's good.
It's just to force it. Fake it till you make it.
Well, you've got so much positivity, and it's infectious, and now we all have it. So we're all infected with the Irene, with your pena-civity. Not positivity, it's pena-citivity.
Wow. I will hashtag that.
I can't quite make that work, but I tried. So, pena positivity. That might be better.
Thank you for taking my call today.
Thanks for calling us here at Café Anyway. What would you like to order? And we'll send delivery girl Shelly Schuhart to drop it off.
I'd like a little Facebook with a side of sarcasm. And I listened just now to a replay of a few days ago when you were talking about Facebook, and you were talking about when you're running with the dog.
I was running with the dog, and the dog.
The dog that the guy was like not owning the fact that his dog needed to be taken care of, like play nice with the other dog.
Oh, the dog that ran into my dog.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, knocked Basil over like a bowling pin. Yes.
Yeah, I mean Basil's not one that I would. He's. I don't think I could knock Basil over. But.
Well, he's kind of, he's got these long legs, and that old expression, the taller they are, the bigger they something. That is...
Oh, it must be one of those things that doesn't apply to me.
You got to stay low to the ground, Irene.
Yes, I could probably not come over then.
Low center of gravity. But yeah, no, it was kind of a thing that happened, but he's okay. Irene Pena, how's your family?
My family is good. We have little Evie taking a nap right now, which is wonderful. And I don't know, maybe Steve is taking a nap too.
Aww.
Take a nap, everybody.
Everybody go to bed.
It's okay by me.
Go to bed with ... Hey, I don't know where that goes. What do you call three dots in a row? That's an ellipsis, isn't it?
Some people know it as an ellipse, but I don't think a lot. I think that's more like not when you're talking about like etc. You only have a few minutes, and I feel bad. Like
yeah.
I'm taking your...
My part-time job is just killing me with stuff like.
No, I just feel like if you don't have time, I feel bad that I asked you to. I hunted you down on the interweb to make this happen.
I'm going to give you as much time as I can, Irene, but guess who chewed up a bunch of my time when I got to work? Someone that we used to work with back in Ventura.
Oh, dear.
Talked my frickin' ear off. Oh my gosh. And he just jokes, and it's like the same stuff that I've been hearing from him for 20 years. Because we knew him 20 years ago. So I'm just like, get out. I was at the Amityville house.
So
get out.
Basically, he was telling you that he dated Nelly Furtado. And, yeah, I don't know, that he was on some big record deal.
Yeah.
On the cusp.
Irene,
I'm sorry. I don't even know what kind of person he is right now.
Irene, it's been some time, but I that's someone that Irene and I once met and knew and worked with years ago, and I still work with him. And in a weird twist of fate, I work with him now, years later, in a completely different part of California, 8 hours north of where we used to be. And now you're much further north. What are you doing? Why are we talking to each other other than you are a shining light of positivity in my dark, dark world? What's new with you?
Oh my gosh. Well, I had come up in, the Facebook, like memory of the day or whatever it's called.
Oh yeah, that I love that.
It like reminds you that you did something at some time. Well, it reminded me of our very first podcast. It was a while ago, but our very first interview.
That's
and
right.
I listened to it. Oh my gosh, I can't stand listening to it. But it reminded me of that, and then it reminded me of it. Like spun all of this thought that had to come out at you.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny. Those memory things are potent on Facebook, aren't they? And especially when you see people that have passed on. Like we worked with a couple guys that have now left this planet, and yet back then, and I see little memories with them, but I'm still here, thankfully, and so are you, Irene.
And yes, that is what is important, and what is really but it's so, I think it's never been more not shocking, but like just like I was looking at your Facebook feed after your Facebook mention of the other day, and I was just kind of shocked and kind of not that I don't actually get an update from you like every day. I see you on like the Facebook memory when we're tagged together. Like, I don't see you every day.
Really?
Yeah.
Is it because of the algorithm? Because I'm posting stuff every day.
Oh, I know, but like, because I looked, and I knew you were because we had talked about that before. We had talked about social media and sharing and hashtagging and all of those things. But
yeah, you're really good at that.
Well, I must not be hugely good at it because, like, I can't even find my friend's podcast. Yeah, so that's kind of why I wanted to talk to you in even more of a social media sense than just like our quarterly catch-up that we do every 6 months.
Well, so I was wondering too, and we can talk about the social media stuff as well, but are you doing anything? I know we were talking about your competition, and you put out an album like in 10 days, right? Or how fast did you have to make this album?
Yeah, no, I did the February RPM challenge for 2018, and we did, I wrote and recorded 10 songs in the month of February starting, I didn't start at midnight on February 1, but it starts at midnight February 1 in your local time zone and then ends on February 28 midnight, so.
And you had to make 10 songs, and you worked on that, and I read a lot of your Instagram posts, and you're like, it's 9 o'clock, and I'm still working on this on Sunday night. I need to get to sleep, and, how do I keep, I've heard these songs so many times, and yeah.
Yeah, it's a pretty terrible and self-inflicted thing that is amazing at the same time.
And how did you feel? How did it go at the end?
I actually, you, as you know, had introduced some lyrics to me. We shared on the internet because I was really reaching out for a lot of reasons there through the month of February, and I didn't use like your straight recording. I used the idea. What did you? It was. Do you care? No, it was.
Yeah, you had that dun 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 dun.
I did use the theme that you sang, and I used the theme of the lyrics to sort of inspire.
Oh.
So I did complete 10 songs. They're not. When I listen to it back as like a collection, there could be I could work on one of the songs for a year, or month or something, and try to make it a perfect song. But they're not by all means. Even right now, they're not perfect but I think they were all 10 good ideas, and I think it's a good practice to let you, or to like remind yourself that you're creative and you can make things out of nothing.
Yeah, you had some great backup vocals that you layered that were all you, and then you got your husband played on some of them, right?
Yeah, he played bass on 2 or 3 of them, 2 of them maybe, and my child lent some vocals and lyric ideas to 2 of the songs.
Where can they find that album?
It's on SoundCloud. I would have, I don't know if it's like buried somewhere. It's so where am I?
They look up music by Irene or something like that.
I'm checking it out. I'm looking so I can tell you the real deal. It's soundcloud.com/music by Irene, and it is uploaded as the album called Super Ordinary RPM Challenge 2018.
Excellent. Now, are you doing any other albums now, or are you going to be performing somewhere soon? I'm posting this on Sunday. We're talking on Saturday. Just FYI.
Thank you for making that clear to me so that I'm still going to get lost in the conversation. But, okay, so it's technically Sunday when people are listening. No, the more relevant, I'm not listening, oh my goodness. I'm not recording an album right now, but my latest project, I guess, is that I have landed the production of a monthly music showcase here in Seattle.
Oh.
So I'm booking talent throughout, well, for as long as they'll let me, at a venue called Substation Seattle.
Oh.
Yeah, on the second Wednesday of every month, starting in May.
How about that? You're a talent booker person. I'm looking for the talent. I have booked some talent, and it's worked. I think I'm booked until July or August right now, and then I'll keep going as long as they're coming. Is anybody there named Kai Alfred Hillig, who I've also talked to a million times? I've talked to you about him.
Yeah, nope. I actually, if you think he'll come my way.
He's in the area, so I'll talk to you about that later, maybe, if you're hurting for... I know you've got a million cassette tapes being thrown at you, because I know people put cassette tapes in the mail, and they mail them to Irene Pena.
Yes.
Because cassette tapes, everybody still use cassette tapes.
Yes, and I play them on my reel-to-reel, what is it?
We don't even remember how we played cassette tapes. It's so long ago.
Remember the dual speed dubbing? Like you recorded really fast.
Made the worst copy of a cassette ever. Yes. With all the hiss.
Yeah. And then you could share with your friends, but you shouldn't. Don't do that.
Well, any other thoughts you'd like to say about social media? Because you I think, can help people that don't understand social media.
I do. I have some thoughts, and I want to make sure I say them clearly and not giggle through most of it, because I found it really enlightening when I did this research for your interview.
Oh, okay.
So I think I've been on social media actively for 8 years now. And I didn't really, even though I was hashtagging and I was uploading, sharing everything I could all the time, I don't think I really understood until just just in the last maybe 2 weeks or so, how important, and I said this to you before, I know, and I'm going to say it again probably like it's the first time I ever realized it, but how important and how exciting it is when somebody actually, gives you a thumbs up or like listens to your thing that you share. You know how it is. Like, you look at your little dashboard or whatever it is, and then you find out somebody heard 30 seconds of something you said, and because you can track all that stuff now.
That's exciting.
It is exciting, and with this show that I'm promoting starting in May, I decided to try to put a little social media behind it and try to promote it so that it gets heard and it gets seen better or more better than, because you know how I couldn't find your podcast. I had to dig for it, and it could be algorithms. I guess it's, whatever it is that buries all of the stuff you're looking for. But there is a newish, I guess it's a app or something. It's a interface, media promotion tool called Thunderclap.
Oh.
Have you heard of Thunderclap?
No.
Okay, so I'm using Thunderclap. I guess they call it Thunderclap It, but the logo says Thunderclap, and I'm using that as a promo tool for this new monthly series to gain a little traction, because I did a count of how many social media, like actual interactions or likes/fans that I have roaming around out there. There's like 1,500.
Wow.
And that sounds like a big number sometimes, and it sounds like a little number sometimes, depending on how you look. That's on YouTube and Facebook and Reverb Nation and SoundCloud and CD Baby and all of those, everything combined.
And does that cost money?
I haven't purchased any followers. Like, some people purchase followers, I think, and I have not done that.
Oh, wow. So you've had some success with it, though.
I would call it accidental success, or happenstance success. Like, I haven't aggressively seeked out these followers, but I did put out an album. I did, I shared the bejesus out of everything that I've ever made, and I've gotten on interviews, and I've done all these things. So I think that I have done my fair share of work.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that, I don't know if 1,500 is a number that you would say is the successful number, or if that's, mediocre. But it's a number. I was surprised by it, because even on the channels and even on stuff that I don't go look at every day, like Google Plus, or all the places that I'm not hanging, MySpace, or something. Even in those places, I can post something I posted something on one of the more obscure sites the other day, and I actually had one supporter go and support my Thunderclap campaign for this new series coming up, and I was so thankful and so I don't know, happily surprised that people are still. I had a handful of unsubscribes as well. So, I did this thing, and I lost some people's attention. They didn't want to be part of it. But I also gained one person who was behind it enough to click support, and I thought that was really cool. And I think that people need to see. We owe it to keep sharing in the right places, in the right ways, so that people like this one person, I'm not going to call them out, but thank you, shared their support, and I saw it come through on my dashboard, and I was really excited about it. And I think that as creative content networkers, I think we owe it to the people who have faithfully subscribed to keep posting podcasts and good content and be creative and continue sharing. So that was my big, it's not a big aha. What I'm basically telling you is hey, Matthew, word of mouth works.
Word of mouth what?
Word of mouth works.
See, and I know that because I have 2 listeners for my podcast, and I pay them to listen, and they're very supportive of me. They're like, hey, I heard the podcast, and I agree with you. The band ABC is awesome, or something like that.
Awesome. By the way, I'll agree as the third person.
Irene, the message is perfectly simple. The meaning is clear. Don't ever stray too far. And don't disappear.
No, don't disappear.
Ever have that feeling? Almost broken too. I don't know about the album after that had When Smokey Sings. That kind of, they had a song called The Night You Murdered Love. It was pretty bad. But I heard Smokey, but I did not hear The Night They Murdered Love. Google that video. It is horrendous. But, I will say Martin...
80s videos were always kind of horrific.
Yeah. But Martin... Actually, I like the Be Near Me video. That was a good video. And the How to Be a Zillionaire or whatever, that was all animated. That was pretty funny. But let's talk about your music real quick now. Let's segue. And what song shall I play to take us out of our wonderful interview today?
Well, I'm going to throw it back to the RPM challenge of 2018 and share something new.
What's that?
You don't even know. It's funny. I'm sharing a track called Rhythm.
Ooh.
And it's on SoundCloud. I will send it to you the hi-fi version or whatever.
Uh-huh.
But as far as listeners know, you already have it in your hands. It's track 6 off of the RPM Challenge 2018.
Super Ordinary.
The album is called Super Ordinary. The track is called Rhythm.
Okay.
And it features a guest singer, Jenna Sorbera, who will be one of the feature artists at the debut of the monthly music series, which is called Irene Pena's Lo-Fi All-Stars.
Ooh, I love that. That's good. Oh, that's a good one. Lo-Fi All-Stars. That's perfect.
Yes. And to tie all the social media-ness together, there is a link, a tiny URL for the first time.
You know what? I always Google... I do a Google tiny... whatever. What's the Google version? It's goo.gul. But goo.gl, which does the same thing as tiny URL, is over. I keep wanting to talk about this on my show, but I always forget. It is done. They have stopped. You can keep making the tiny URLs on Google, and they'll give you statistics like how many people click on it. But in a year from last month, next March, it's done. They're like, you can't add any more. Your links will still work, but so I'm gonna have to switch over to tiny URL, the one you just used, because Google's is going away.
It's so far, I've used it once and it's working, and I'm going to give you the tiny URL right now.
Okay.
It's tinyurl.com/IPLFAS, as in Irene Pena Lo-Fi All-Stars.
Oh, okay. And I'll put a link at mikesdailypodcast.com. I'll put the tiny URL link.
Look at that. Well, so it's going to take you, that way, just so you know, it takes you to the campaign for it's the Thunderclap campaign for the Irene Pena Lo-Fi All-Star Show, and the goal of the campaign is just to get people who are interested to talk about or share about the show. All you have to do is click a button and it'll post to your Facebook. It says exactly what it's going to say. It says new monthly music series starts May 9 at Substation Seattle. Support our epic lineup and let artists be heard. And that's the message that I crafted. And it is customizable. You can change it if you want to say something else. But the important thing, the different thing about this, because I know people will wonder, and you may wonder, is that Thunderclap sends this message all at one time. They'll send it on the same day at the same time that I have chosen, which is May 6th at 10 a.m. So if you hit support right now, and I hit support right now, and 5 other people hit support right now, it won't go to our Facebook, our Twitter, our Tumblr, or whatever immediately. It will go out on May 6th at 10, and it will blast it out as, then it's like all the people that I've collected to talk about these artists, and I'll tell you who the artists are, talk about these artists, talk about the performances, talk about Seattle music. It just puts that little oomph behind algorithms or whatever.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So that there are more people talking about it all at the same time. Imagine if we talked about this Sunday show and we had 100 other people talk about this Sunday show all at the same time tomorrow at 7 a.m. or whatever.
Right, Monday at 7 in the morning. Okay.
Yes. Well, then they will have had to listen to it yesterday.
And then it would have worked. And who are the artists?
I will tell you right now, I will be supported and share the stage with a group called the Southwest Sweethearts, Wind Sea Blue, whom you've heard before, Rochelle DeBelle and Jam Fest Miracles, and as I just said, Dennis Sorbera will be joining me and singing some of her songs and some of my songs.
Oh, awesome. Okay. And maybe you'll sing this song, The Rhythm, that I'm playing now here at Mike's Daily Podcast.
Yes, we are actively rehearsing it so that we can play it for you on May 9th.
What's going on in my mind? My senses clouding all the time. Feels like I'm always struggling. Like I'm forced by life to stand on the side and watch it pass me by. Makes it clear to me I'm exactly where I need to be. I'm exactly where I need
And that was Irene Pena's The Rhythm. And Irene, let's go outside of Café Anyway, where we bring you Mike's Daily Podcast somewhere in Podcaster Valley. You've heard this part of the show, and now we're outside, and there's birds chirping and stuff.
Oh, no, I can't do that here. Not with the rain.
And hey, next show, it's going to be Shelley Schuhart, Floyd the Floorman, and John Deere the Engineer, I think. I'm pretty sure. So, yeah.
I look forward to them.
And any final words you'd like to say to all the people of the world that listen to Mike's Daily Podcast? That would be the two people I aforementioned.
Well, for those two people, and for everybody else that stumbles upon Mike's Daily Podcast every day, that he works so hard to put these shows on, I just want to thank them for giving likes or support or thumbs up or whatever it is that their version of support is for Mike's work and for social media support of any kind. It's all appreciated, and it's very much needed.
Irene, you're so pretty and lovely and creative and positive and bright and everything that's good, and you give this show. You're welcome back on the show anytime. And quarterly works, bi-quarterly,
I don't have to change
poly-quarterly, polyamorous. Wait, no, I don't know what that word means. Does that mean something, polyamorous? Can you explain? What does that mean?
That, if I can technically explain it, I think is so it's not monogamy. It is the active relationships of multiple partners as opposed to one partner.
Now that's okay, right? Is that okay to do, or I don't know?
It depends who you are, I guess. Is it okay for me? No, I'm monogamous.
Uh-huh.
Is it okay for you? I don't know.
I don't know. I guess I don't know. I'll have to figure that out before you come on again next time.
Maybe we'll get an update the next time that we chat, and we'll revisit that topic.
Excellent.
By the way, can I just tie that into something?
I think we have a poly topic here. There's several topics happening, and it's poly, which means many.
It's polyrific. I wanted to say that actually at the Irene Pena Lo-Fi All-Star Show, the debut show, there will be some, I don't even know what to say, representatives of the polyam community here in Seattle. You don't have to share that on your show, but I just wanted you to know that because these people have shared that part of their life with me, and so polyam will be represented at the show with love,
lots
and
of
unity, and all that.
Lots of am's going to be there.
Lots of many AMs.
Well, I think that's a great way to end the shows. It's all about am, isn't it? Is that what I should name this show? Because I think the last time you were on, I called it Irene, didn't I? Or did I call it Pena? What should I call this show? Amorous? Am?
If you call it polyamorous, we'll get a lot of crazy things.
No, but it has to be something to do with you, though. Your name. Your... Lo-fi?
Do you limit it to one word?
Yeah, it has to be one word, unfortunately.
Okay.
It's kind of hard to do, isn't it?
Yeah, that is a wicked...
It's a wicked test. It's a wicked game, as Chris Isaac sang about once.
He did sing about that.
I want to fall in love.
Are you opposed to putting more words together to make up a word?
As long as it's not ridiculous. Because the show is totally not ridiculous.
This is the absolute, anti-ridiculous.
How about, should I make it Lo-Fi All-Stars?
Yeah, I just wonder. Well, it won't. I don't think people know what it is yet because I haven't been promoting it yet.
How about Super Ordinary?
That's as a 2-word, 1-word thing.
That could be a 1-word. We could smush that together. Yeah.
And we did talk about it. The big topic is the Lo-Fi All-Stars, but...
All right. I think we'll call it Super Ordinary Lo-Fi All-Stars. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
It'll be polyamorific Lo-Fi All-Stars. You will name it, you will choose wisely, just like in Indiana Jones.
Mike's Daily Podcast is written and produced and performed by Mike Matthews. His podcast is super easy to find. Download or listen to his show and read his blog at mikesdailypodcast.com.
Email Mike now at mikesdailypodcast@